Here are a couple of bags of blended horse and llama all ready to go on the carder. But today I'm going to be working with the fiber that you saw me blending outside, the fawn and grulla. There, I'm trying to position the camera so you can watch how I load up my carder. So this is the grulla from Belle and the fawn colored llama fiber all blended up that we blended outside. And it's very, very soft and fluffy and blended, as you can see, blended really, really well. It's really hard to see where the curly horse is and where the llama is, and that's how I like to feed it into the carder, because it comes out really even, and when I spin it, it's much nicer to spin when it's carded evenly. So make it nice and light and fluffy, so when it goes into the carder, it's spun onto the carder evenly. You don't want to spin the wheel too fast, or else it'll go on pretty lumpy. And I actually run my bats through twice so that it is blended nicely and all the fiber is going in the same direction for when I spin it. It's starting to collect really nicely on the large drum now. So I also go through it and pick it again before I send it through the carder. I want to try and get my carder as full as I can so that the bat's nice and thick, so that when I do start to spin with it, it doesn't fall apart on me. I can pull it apart and put it in sections so I can spin it easier, and it doesn't fall apart if it's nice and thick. And I know my carder is full when my small drum has collected a lot of fiber and the large drum isn't accepting any more fiber on it when I put through the fiber. Now I'm going to take the bat off of my large drum. Trying to make sure that all my fiber on the drum goes onto the bat and doesn't stay on the drum. So I'm turning my drum backwards. And ready to go through the carder the second time. I find when I put it through a second time, it makes the bat a little more compact and it makes it easier to spin. I make sure that when I'm feeding it through the second time that I hold down and let some of it go and not feed it all through at once, or it's going to clump up on the drum and not make a very nice bat. So I let it go and then I feed a little bit more in. So it's feeding in and onto the small drum evenly so that it'll feed onto the large drum evenly as well. This bat's all finished now and ready to come off the carder, so I will take it off the carder and it will be ready to spin. So this is the curly horse and llama fiber bat. I fold it in half and roll it like that. And it's ready to store. Here are 6 bats ready to spin. If I'm going to do a 2-ply yarn with the lamb's wool, the dyed lamb's wool, I'll use 3 curly horse bats and 1 roving from the dyed fiber that I do. And that makes approximately 80 yards of medium weight yarn. If I'm going to do just straight curly horse yarn, then I need to use about 6 bats.